Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Baek Battles. Today is the last episode. We're using the Xerndon team with Xerneas, Groudon, Tapu Koko, Volcorona, Amoonguss, and Incineroar. If you haven't checked out the previous episodes, I highly recommend go checking them out. But otherwise, if you do want to see a potential QR code and you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like on the video down below. 175 likes is that like goal for this video and all the other videos we use this team. And within 2 weeks of this episode being uploaded, if we do reach that goal, we will have a QR code on the global link for everyone to try out. But I think this team is actually really good if it hits its moves. If it hits its moves, it's actually a really good team. It has a lot of offensive presence. The only thing I'm still trying to worry about is like you have to play 50-50s with like Scarf Kyogre plus like a Tornadus, because Rain Dance is like something really scary for this team, especially next to Tornadus, because basically you hit for so much right there. Especially if you have like a Serena, it becomes a bunch of mind games. So yeah, that's like the one thing, especially since this team does have 3 water weaknesses, which isn't the best thing in the world. It also has a I guess it's not. It's got 2 ground weaknesses, but not exactly a ground immunity either. So it does have a bit of problems against Groudon if it's a powerful Precipice Blaze that's being spammed. So yeah, it's a bit more of a frailer team, but it's definitely got the offensive presence. And yeah, I've been enjoying using it so far. When we've hit our moves, when we've hit our moves. But otherwise, we've been doing pretty well with this team. I think this team has had a really good record so far. And it's taken quite a while to find our first game, so let's see if it can continue. Oh, well, looks like we got one. A 1769 rated player from Japan as our first opponent of today. Rocking Yveltal with Groudon, Venusaur, Yveltal, the Incineroar, Tapu Fini, and Stakataka. So all I know is my Volcorona does amazing here if I'm able to position it right. I definitely like Yveltal. I like Volcorona. The problem is the last two, because I kind of want to bring Groudon Xerneas, but I feel like I should bring Incineroar as a switch-in. So yeah, it's the question, do I want to bring Incineroar or not? And I kind of don't want to, actually. It's not necessary to bring Incineroar. So I'm going Tapu Koko plus Volcorona here. It kind of feels weird not bringing Incin, because Incin's such a good Pokemon to bring, but let's go Tapu Koko Volcorona. The reason I want to bring Tapu Koko is just to prevent a sleep powder shenanigans, although I'm not sure if you would bring a Groudon Venusaur lead. I think Venusaur's just good against my team, so I think I could definitely see it. I think Stakataka should be brought here, and Yveltal, I'm guessing. I could see Incineroar too, but the thing is, like, Incineroar doesn't do as much. You might decide to forego Yveltal though, because like you might decide to forego Yveltal for Incineroar now that I think about it. Let's lock in. Yeah, and then I wouldn't really need Incineroar as much, I think. So we'll see how this goes. There's going to be quite a few questions here. Of course, we are seeing a Tapu Fini over the standard Tapu Koko we usually see on this team. We might have played our opponent before. I might have, because I definitely recognize facing a team like this with a Fini over a Tapu Koko, but I'm not sure if this is the same opponent. So we got Groudon Venusaur lead, so pretty much to be expected here. I think I'm going to go for the Z Overheat right away, because the Z Overheat puts in range of regular Overheat, and I think that's fine. I think Sky dropping the Venusaur makes a lot of sense here, because did we face a team and it had Poisonium Z, or was it a different team I was facing? I think the Z Overheat is fine into the Groudon. Immediately, we get a potential knockout in the Groudon, or just put in range of Overheat. So we could just, and if it protects, then it has to worry about the Overheat the following turn. So we'll go for the Z Overheat right here and the Sky Drop into the Groudon, since I think it's a fine play here. Especially if I get rid of Groudon, that makes the game a lot easier. And it looks like it is going to be straight up Z move. It's going to be the Poisonium Z, so yeah. Okay, I think we did face our opponent before. We're going to see the Poisonium Z come out. It will target down. I wonder who this is targeting, because I don't care if it's Tapu Koko. I really don't need Tapu Koko much, other than just the terrain, so I don't get sleep powdered. We're going to see the Acid Downpour and a Volcorona once again. We did live this the last time, so I think we will live it this time. Yeah. It pretty much did the same amount of damage as before, as we will be able to Sky Drop the Venusaur and Z Overheat the Groudon. And we get rid of the Groudon, which is fantastic for me, so I'll gladly take this position right here. As we'll go for this Z Overheat, we'll target down the... It will target down this Groudon, and that's a knockout, which is amazing right off the bat. So How much damage is this gonna do? Should do a good amount. It just knocks out the Groudon, which is fantastic. So we get rid of Groudon, which is amazing for me. And we'll see what my opponent decides to bring out next. I'd imagine the next Pokemon should be the Incineroar, so you have Fake Out Pressure. Psych Attack is actually going to come out. I feel like this is Deja Vu. It's like the exact same game as the last time. I think just Overheat the Venusaur. Because if I get rid of the Venusaur, my Groudon has a lot of an easier time, I think. Yeah. The damage on Psych Attack isn't really too necessary as well, so yeah. Especially since, like, we're in such a good position right here that I think it's just fine. We'll be able to Skydrop the Venusaur. We'll be able to knock it out afterward with the Overheat, and then just getting rid of 2 Pokemon and trapping it in, which means I don't have to worry if it's Incineroar as the last Pokemon. I don't have to worry about an Intimidate, so we are able to get rid of Venusaur, which is nice. And we'll see what Psych Attack does. If it Rock Slides, that's fine. I just get Groudon. And yeah, it went for Rock Slide, so that's perfect. It's not even a Trick Room, which is awesome. Because even if you're going to get a Beast Boost, which should be Defense, I think, which is fine. Because, like, I don't think my Groudon was knocking out the Stack Attack in the first place originally. Yeah. Defense Beast Boost. We'll get in our Groudon here. And we'll see Incineroar. Yeah. So I have a few plays. I could go for the Nature's Madness into the Stack Attack to weaken it. I could go for a Sky Drop in Incineroar if I'm expecting Trick Room. There's quite a few plays I could go for. If my Nature's Madness is Stack Attack, I might be able to put it in range of an attack from my Groudon, but I'm not exactly sure if that's worth it. I think going for the Sky Drop in Incineroar sounds very tempting because I could potentially Swords Dance up. How many turns does Sun are left? 3. I think Sky Drop is worth it because I think I could Sky Drop the Incineroar here, Swords Dance, or attempt to Swords Dance on a Fake Out Trick Room, I think, and then afterward I'll Swords Dance again, and then I'll be able to Protect on the last turn of Sun, and then Incineroar plus Stack Attack can't knock me out, most likely. So yeah, I think this is worth. Because I don't think you let Stack Attack take an attack here. I guess maybe I should stop bringing Xerneas in these games, because like I never brought Xerneas because my opponent never ends up bringing the Yveltal. So I think in the future, like if we do lose this, because it is a potential Gyro Ball, it depends on if my opponent goes for Gyro Ball, which, oh, Wide Guard actually, okay. Which is fine. Because we Swords Dance here. Alright, so that's Wide Guard. So we'll Sky Drop the Incineroar here. How many times I Trick Room? 3. I'm gonna Sky Drop again, actually. And just Protect, because even if Tapu Koko goes down, I get a free switch in Xerneas, and then my opponent has to choose between going for Wide Guard or going for a Gyro Ball. We'll see what comes out here. It's going to be a Wide Guard again. I don't know if a Flare Blitz is going to target on the Groudon, which is fine too. As Flare Blitz is going to come out, target down the Groudon slot, perfect. So I'm going to get another Sky Drop and just try to stall out the Trick Room. And I'm liking Fire Punch a lot in the Stack Attacker, but I'm also really liking the Precipice Blades right here, because let's say you Wide Guard here. Yeah, but you're stalling out your own Trick Room, which is not really that beneficial, I think, to you. So I think I'm actually going to attempt to Precipice Blades, because I can really see you trying to Gyro Ball if you try to catch me going for a Swords Dance again, but it is going to be another Wide Guard, which is fine. Because I could probably just Fire Punch the Stack Attacker the following turn. Yeah, and I really like that Fire Punch option in Stack Attacker. Because a Fire Punch, yeah, basically I think that's fine actually. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch actually into the Stack Attacker and a Fire Punch. Because you can't knock out Groudon with Gyro Ball plus Flare Blitz, I'm going to get reliable damage in a Stack Attacker, and you're just going to keep going for Wide Guard, which is fine, because you're going to have to keep going for Wide Guard, because this is the last turn of Trick Room. I could get in, then I could just keep going for Blades, and I don't see a reason not to just keep going for Blades here. As Flare Blitz really doesn't do that much to the Groudon. We get a Fire Punch off, but shouldn't do too much. You got a Defense Boost as well. Oh, that did a lot less than I thought, actually. That's fine, because we get a Volt Switch off in a Stack Attacka, and what this allows us to do is get in our Xerneas, and we get to just click Blades here, and as long as we hit one of them, we should be able to win the game. Because Blades will be able to knock out the Stack Attacka if you decide to go for a... if you decide to go anything other than a Wide Guard. So, yeah. We're in a pretty fine situation. We can just Geomancy right here, actually, and just go for Precipice Blades, I think. Because if you're Wide Guarding, my Xerneas gets to set up for free, and yeah, you're going to keep Geomancy, that's fine. Because crit Flare Blitz doesn't look like it even knocks out my Groudon at the range it's at, and then I just get to Moonblast the Incineroar the following turn and just keep going for Precipice Blades. There's not really much you can do here. A crit, again, won't knock out. Maybe you Roar here, but even if you Roar, that's not even, like, that helpful to you, because my Groudon's still threatening Precipice Blades every single turn. So, maybe if you Roar to Groudon, I guess. But I just Moonblast the Incineroar the next turn and knock it out, so still not a really good position for my opponent regardless. Let's see if you have the Roar, and that might be able to get you some positioning. Might be your best positioning, but just going to go for the Flare Blitz right here into the Groudon once again. So let's see, are you able to knock out the Groudon? Yeah, crit when I'm knocked out, no burn, which is fortunate. Now I can just get to click Moonblast into the Incineroar and the Precipice Blades. Yeah. So we'll go for Precipice Blades, we'll go for Moonblast. I think this is a turn Stack Attacka has to go for Trick Room. Yeah. As we are going to be able to get Moonblast knocked out on Incineroar, which is good. And we will attempt to go for Precipice Blades, and we get it. It's nice, and if we don't, it's not the end of the world. It's Precipice Blades. We do miss, so it makes it more interesting. Gyro Ball into Groudon. I'm actually really surprised you targeted down the Xerneas. Okay. You get the defense beast boost, but the Precipice Blades is still going to knock you out. I always go Coco here. Yeah, and I think my position, again, is still fine regardless. I get to click a Volt Switch here twice, and that should be able to knock out the Stack Attack, I would imagine. Unless it's the Bulky Berry one, but I feel like the first Volt Switch will just put it out of range for the Berry. It's going to be complicated if we do miss again, but if we do activate the Berry and we miss again. Let's see. Because my opponent has to go on the miss. Volt Switch. Oh, that did a little less than I thought. But we do connect our Precipice Blades, which is good, and we will be able to knock out Stack Attack, and that's going to be a good game. So, luckily we were able to pull through with our Groudon in this end game, and yeah, we were just able to, again, knock out the Groudon immediately turn 1. We were able to knock out the Venusaur turn 2. And we just had so much positioning with our Groudon, because once the sun was stalled out, my opponent couldn't really touch the Groudon. Sure, it could stall it out with Wide Guard, but like, what happened when Trick Room was over? You had to keep Wide Guarding, and Incineroar wasn't really doing much damage. So yeah, we were able to come out with a win, which was really nice. And I just don't think there's much my opponent could do about it, because again, you were stuck in to Wide Guard, or you had to risk a miss. Either one. Basically had to. Luckily, my opponent didn't go for like a Trick Room, because I think a Trick Room would have been really complicated, actually. Like, instead of Gyro Balling the Xerneas, like if my opponent went for Trick Room, it could have been potentially scary, because having those extra turns of Trick Room could have been defining. But I guess my opponent was like, I don't want it. I'm not sure if I could live 2 Moonblasts. If it was Berry Stack Attack, I feel like if we did face our opponent before and it's the same team, I think it was Berry Stack Attack, but I can't remember for certain. So, yeah, luckily we were just able to pull out a win. And yeah. Because otherwise you attempt to Trick Room there, I think, and then you have to call who protects and go for the Gyro Ball. And you have to catch my Groudon right, and you have to hope Gyro Ball knocks out the Groudon, which is your win con, I think, in that position. Or you hope for a bunch of Precipice Blades misses. But yeah. Luckily we were able to pull it through though. And yeah. Volcorona doing a lot of work, so was the Groudon. Otherwise, it's taking a while to find our next game, so I think we're just going to cut it out here. We'll be right back with the second game of today's episode. Alright, we got our next opponent for the United States, 16-16 rating, and I feel like we played this opponent too. Or I might have played him. We see a Metagross still, okay. Sakataka, Kyogre, Incineroar, Tapu Lele, Metagross, and the Lunala. So this is going to be kind of strange, because I can't really tell like what kind of team this is supposed to be. I don't like Incineroar. Yeah, I mean, I like Incineroar, but I kind of don't want to bring it because I kind of want to go Tapu Koko, Volcorona, Groudon plus Xerneas. Yeah, and Incineroar is not bad at all here. Double Steel makes Xerneas a little less useful, but I'm not sure if he would bring Double Steel against a Groudon. Let's see. I'm thinking Tapu Koko just because like I have a lot of pressure with Nature's Madness into or Volt Switch into Z Overheat, which will be able to nuke something. And I kind of like that game plan. Let's see how this goes, because I'm not exactly too sure. It could be Goggles Lunala too, because I can't remember what the sets were. Because I think I played my opponent before, but I just can't remember any sets because I recognize the name. We'll see how this goes though. I'm just gonna try to see if this Volt Switch play will work, because I don't know if it's Scarf Kyogre or not. We'll find out with turn 1, fortunately. If it's not Scarf Kyogre, I guess we have some issues. A Lunala Incineroar, which is fine. I'm guessing this is Trick Room or Tailwind. I mean, we have a Whirlwind option. This is a Trick Room option. This is really bad for us because I didn't really bring the best tools for against Trick Room. If it's I feel like this team's more. Well, if it is the Stack Attack, it is probably Trick Room now that I think about it. Not good for us. I guess I could Sky Drop turn 1. And Whirlwind. It prevents the Trick Room. If I do expect hard Trick Room, I am thinking Trick Room does go up turn 1. So we're gonna see Fake Out. One of us is getting faked out as the Tapu Koko. Let's see. Nice. Okay. We Whirlwind out the Lunala here, so that's great for me. As we'll see the Kyogre come in. Okay, nice. Nice. That works out pretty good for us, as now we're going to be able to Volt Switch the Kyogre. As that is always lovely, as we'll be able to Volt Switch here, the Kyogre. And what do we want to do for Volcorona? Because I don't want to Overheat right away, because if Kyogre protects, it's not exactly a good spot. And I feel like Incineroar would U-turn if anything. I think just Tailwind here. Because, like, we're going to be faster than our opponent anyway. As long as it's not Scarf Kyogre. If it's Scarf Kyogre, I guess we could lose the game right here. But, like, if we are going to attempt to Trick Room turn 1, like, I don't think you're Scarf Kyogre if you attempt to Trick Room immediately turn 1. Unless you were relying on your Stack Attacker, but... Well, I guess if you have Wide Guard on Lunala, you could Wide Guard spam stuff with Stack Attacker. Oh, please don't be Scarf Kyogre. Well, it's switching out anyway into Lunala, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. We get a Volt Switch off into the Lunala. And now we could go Groudon here, or we could go Xerneas. I'm gonna go Xerneas right here. Even if we get knocked off, it's okay. Let's see what my opponent's gonna go for. Knock off U-turn. Should be U-turn, I think, but could be a knockoff. Go Tailwind, and we're gonna see a knockoff into Tapu Koko. Oh, and a Volcorona, so that works out beautifully for me. Oh, that did a lot. You should never let me Geomancy for free. I'm thinking of going for the Groudon Z Overheat here, but I don't really like how that doesn't make too much sense to me, because if Incineroar, let's say, stays in, goes for the knockoff into Volcorona. Okay. If I go Groudon here, I'm weak to the Kyogre on the switch, which is not good. But I get rid of Lunala, because I think Lunala attacks here. I don't think it protects or anything. I could Moonblast the Overheat, but I'm not sure that will KO. I'd rather go for the KO right here if I can get it. So I'm going to go for the Z Overheat and the Lunala right here. As I really want to get rid of this Lunala potentially, because if I can get rid of that Trick Room option, this game becomes so much easier to deal with. So I'm going to get Groudon in and attempt to Z Overheat. I'm hoping my opponent doesn't switch out Incineroar and Kyogre here, which doesn't, thankfully, because you don't want to let Xerneas set up for free without doing anything. So we'll get a Z Overheat off into our opponent. Okay, that's good. So we get a Z Overheat off. It should be able to knock out the Lunala, which is good. I mean, yeah, like through no Shadow Shield, we are able to knock out Lunala, so that's one positive note. As we'll see a knockoff once again into the Volcorona. Okay. It did the same amount of damage as it did the first time, so 81, 81, 1 HP. Okay. No, it did 80. My opponent's next Pokemon should be the Kyogre. And then it gets interesting from here. We're gonna see the Kyogre come out. Okay, so I have two options. One, I could just protect my Incineroar here. I mean, my Groudon here. And, that's not too bad of an option. The second one is I could just sack Tapu Koko and keep my Volcarona around. But the problem with keeping Volcarona around is just not as useful, I think. Let me think about the back Pokemon. I mean, I'm really liking the idea of protecting actually and sacking my Volcarona right here. So I'm gonna go for the Overheat into the Kyogre just to weaken Water Spout by a little bit if that's necessary. Because you want to imagine Kyogre attacks here. And we're gonna see the Incineroar actually switch out into the Sakataka, which is okay too. So if this is I guess this is a bit complicated. Oh, it's very complicated if Kyogre protects here. But it doesn't, thankfully. We will be able to get the Overheat off. It will target down the Kyogre. Okay. Now we got an interesting position. Oh, it's a Scald. It's not good. That's very not good. That is very not good. Guess we'll go Tapu Koko here. Attempted Whirlwind? In case Kyogre tries to switch in Incineroar to live the Precipice Blades for Sakataka. I mean, the Scald was not what I was anticipating there. I was hoping it was a Water Spout. But yeah, that's not exactly good. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Please, let's see. Did I get the read right? Did you attempt to Trick Room? Because if you attempted to Trick Room, this works out so well in my favor. Nice, okay. Never allow Trick Room to go up. Okay, so I thought Kyogre might want to switch out there because of the fact that you might want to try to live your Sack Attack if you don't have Protect here. So, and yeah, that was a Trick Room play for sure. Okay, that works out beautifully in our favor. We can now go for a Volt Switch into the Kyogre. Like, now we're in a really good position because we can get Groudon in. And what Groudon does is we are able to go for, like, Nature's Madness, Precipice Blades here. And that is so good for my team in general. And I'm pretty sure I'm just getting faked out with Tapu Koko, so I don't think this really matters. Fake out Water Spout might be a play, which is fine. Or switch out, which is good too. I wonder if it's a switch out U-turn, and then it comes down to 50-50. We're going to see the Sakataka come in here. It's just a fake out though, so yeah, it doesn't really help my opponent. I'm going to go for the Nature's Madness for sure here. Into the Incineroar or the Sakataka? Definitely the Sakataka, because if I get a Sakataka, Xerndon could win this game. And just Precipice Blades. Precipice Blades is going to do a lot, no matter what. Oh, come on. Are we really going to end this team off 3 misses? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Pokemon. Alright. I think this game's pretty much a wrap with that. Pretty much a wrap. Gotta love this game. I gotta hope for a mess up for my opponent, I think. I'm gonna go for Precipice Blades and just protect here. If Sakataka protects and a Incineroar U-turn, I basically gotta hope for, like, I don't know, there's like so much I have to get here. 1, I need to get the Precipice Blades off in the Sakataka. 2, Z-move. Hold on, pummeling. Is that with Flareless gonna KO? I think Gyro Ball does more. I mean, if I knock out the Sakataka and my And I live the attack here, it's not the end of the world yet. Yeah, this is still very annoying. It's all out pummeling. Oh, this is the all out pummeling guy who I faced earlier. Flare Blade's gonna come out. I gotta hope Groudon lives so I can get a Precipice Blades off, because I need a Precipice Blades off. But yeah. Gotta love this game. Gotta love 3 misses in a row. Specifically, not hitting a single Blades, not getting any amount of damage, not winning the Weather War or anything. I don't think we played bad at all. It really just came down to do we hit our moves, and that's why I really dislike Groudon. And unfortunately, we're ending off the team with a sour note. There's no out. There's no out. You U-turn, Volcorona, you Gyro Ball, win the game. I could go for multiple protects, but even then, like, I can't even KO the stack attack. That's how sad it is. Keep spamming Gyro Ball, you're getting Kyogre. There's nothing I can do. Gotta love this game, but yeah, that's unfortunate for the team to end off a sour note, but that is Pokemon sometimes. It is the game we decide to play, and the risk of using Groudon. So, hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Back Battles. Again, I don't think that game was played badly at all for us. I think we're actually playing pretty well. I guess the one turn was like the awkward spot was getting Kyogre next to Stack Attack with the rain up while you scalded my Groudon, and I overheated trying to sack my Volcorona, but that kind of made it a bit awkward, but we were still able to come through, fortunately. Because my opponent was worried about Precipice Blades, knockout, Stack Attack, and then you lose to Xerndon, which is something I was just anticipating, but hope everyone enjoyed, though, today's episode. You can check out the page of the team down below in the description. You can check out my social media as well, such as my Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram accounts. If you want to go that extra mile to support me, my channel, there is the Patreon page that I do have linked in the description down below. Also, if you just want to help me out, and there are other ways to do it by leaving a like on this video, especially if you enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and you can also share this video with your friends. That would be much appreciated. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch you all later.